Welcome to the Mixed Mornings and More podcast
with your friends, Steph and Shawn.
5 a.m. Confessions.
I have to tell you something about my used car.
Okay.
Now, they always come with a few quirks, you know? The previous owner got used to it. They didn't remember that that's kind of just the way you have to work it. And so, like, you have to use pliers to open the hood. They didn't decide to fix that.
Sure.
It's okay. I can handle that.
Yeah.
No matter what I do, it still smells like the previous owner.
Oh.
Like, no matter how many times I Febreze it, I'm just like, yep.
I can definitely see that when you get used to, like, smells in a lot of places.
Yeah. It's just not great. And then there's this other thing, which is that the driver's side door doesn't lock with the remote.
Okay, yep.
And it won't lock unless the door is shut. So you can't like just be like, oh, that's okay. I'll just lock it from the inside and shut the door.
Yeah.
So I have become like quite an acrobat because I have to crawl over top of the console and get out the passenger side door if I want the door to lock.
That's so weird.
Or I have to get out my driver's side door, walk around my car, and lean over the passenger side door to lock the door.
Yeah.
But then Saturday night,
I remember you talking about that.
yeah, it's just kind of a quirk. It's a little bit annoying. Yeah, but I've like it's made my car a little bit cleaner because I can't leave anything in the console or anything because I'm gonna knock it over.
Yeah.
So I guess there's a pro to everything.
Yeah.
But then Saturday night I was in a rush. I got out of the driver's side door and I shoved the key in and I locked it with the key.
That could have been an option the whole time.
Apparently, because it worked.
Oh my
It's like-
goodness. Like, well, if the button doesn't work on the control thing, I gotta crawl over.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this since December. Every time I get out of this car, I've been having a crawl, a gymnastics act. And all I had to do was turn the key.
Classic case of overthinking. You could have just the old school way with
Common
the key.
sense. Not so common.
Steph, you and I both had a pretty busy weekend out all throughout the days. Did you notice any pasty thighs out there?
I absolutely did. Not just pasty thighs, also pasty muscles. People were wearing tank tops as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I for sure noticed that it was short season. I didn't see any tank. You were lucky out there. You got to see some shoulders?
I did. I was at Walmart. I feel like that's sometimes where you see the best kinds of outfits.
Yes.
And this was definitely the short shorts, the tight tank top. This guy had quite some muscles. He was bursting out. He was ready for the gun show.
Oh, hell yes. I was at Oil Barons game. Nighttime, mind you. Friday and Saturday. So
Whoa.
it gets chilly during the night. And shorts were just popping off. I was just like, oh yeah, there's your calves. Oh yeah, there's your thighs. I was just like, you can tell that we haven't had kind of warm weather in a while by how pasty those legs are.
Yeah, brave people. They're getting ready. I mean, I'm sad about the forecast looking like Thursday might be really, really chilly, but I'm here for it. If you want
Yeah.
to walk around, where's the flip-flops? Bring those out too.
Absolutely. You got to speak it into existence. Just start wearing that nicer weather clothes out there.
Manifest it. I went to an event yesterday and I noticed this gent kind of standing about 10 feet behind our group, and he didn't move for probably 40 minutes. His face didn't move. Like, I considered that perhaps he was like a creepy looking mannequin.
Yeah.
And he just was staring the whole time. And I was like, whatever.
Were y'all having a staring contest?
No, because I didn't want to lock eyes with him. So I just kept kind of being like, oh, yep, still there. So we were taking pictures, we're having fun, and I get home and I'm showing my husband my pictures, and he was like, who's that?
Just the guy staring in the background?
Yeah, like he was just like right above my head in the photo, just staring, and I was like, I don't know, his facial expression never changed. But it got me thinking, like, man, how many pictures am I in the background of, and like, what is my face doing when they snap that photo?
Yeah. Well, okay, I what comes to mind is like whenever I'm at the Oil Barons game and I'm hosting them, I'm always walking around with Mobster, the mascot.
Right.
And everyone wants a picture of Mobster. So I'm always like, hey, I can take it so I'm not in the background. But there's often times when they just do like a selfie or they just do like a quick picture. And usually I'm standing right beside him.
Right.
So I am, my legs or my arm or just like me with a weird looking face on is probably in a ton of Mobster photos around here.
Well, I think like the mask mandate probably helped with like the weird photo background face, because like then who knows where you're looking, like whatever, who knows what your face is doing. But now it's just like, that guy's face hasn't moved in a while, or like, oh, what's he up to over there with that weird little smirk on?
Yeah. And like way back in the days, I'd always be wanting to like tag myself on Facebook if like my arm or my leg was like in the photo.
Totally. And yet then you go back and you're like, where am I in this picture? I must have been at this event and thought I should be tagged. Is that my arm? Is that the freckle on my arm?
And now it's just like constantly like untag it these days.
I don't want to be seen there. Don't tell people.
So on Friday, we were talking about how you had to go to like, you didn't know if it was like a gala or a dress up. What decision did you come with for the event that you attended?
You know what? All the sales girls were going with me and they were talking about like, did you get a dress yet? Are you ready? And I was like, okay, well, at least we're all sitting at the same table. So if we all dress up to the nines and we are overdressed, we're overdressed together. So I decided to do the full on dress up gala event kind of night.
Okay. And then judging, so your table was all looking the same. Then how about the rest of the room?
Pretty much everybody was all in the same boat. And I don't know if that was like the dress code for the night or everyone was just like, I haven't gotten to wear these clothes in 2 years.
Yes.
It's time. I'm taking them out of my closet.
How did everyone look? What was it like?
It was so nice. Everyone was so stunning. It was so fun to see all these dresses again.
Yes.
And one of the things that one of the people went up on stage and said was, I literally had to dust off my heels. And I was like, me too. Like I had all of these heels hanging on like a back door hanger. And I was like, do I want to wear these black ones or these brown ones? And then I was like, oh, these suedes are a little bit hard to get the dust off. I guess I'm going to wear the black ones.
Okay. Is that why you're limping a little bit today?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I haven't worn heels in 2 years. I saw so many people and I was like, I am so sorry. It is so great to see you, but I must get to my table so I can sit down. I can no longer stand on these heels. And we literally just arrived, but it was like so painful.
Were a lot of people kicking off the heels when they're sitting down?
Yes, absolutely. And then there was parts where you had to do a standing ovation and you're like,
I shouldn't be laughing.
You deserve a standing ovation, but I can't stand up right now. Like it's going to take me a minute. Is it worth it, or should I just really put my hands high above my head and be like, I'm standing, I promise.
All right, easing back into things.
We're trying.
I have an apology, Steph, that I need to get out there in the world.
Okay, tell me. Is it to me?
No, not to you. Not to you. Not this time around.
I didn't feel like I'd been wronged, but I just wasn't sure what you thought you had done. Okay.
I was at the Oil Barons game. I can't remember if it was Friday or Saturday. It's all a blur. But someone came up to me in the stands and like, hey, are you Shawn from Mixed Mornings? I was like, yeah, what's going on? What's up? And like, hey, my mom doesn't like that you hate ravens.
Oh.
And I was like, oh no. I was like, what did I say? She's like, one morning you just said that you don't like birds and you hate ravens, and she didn't like that. And I was like, okay. Well, I guess hate was a strong word. I just not friends with them at the moment.
Not friends with the Ravens. So are you apologizing to this child's mom, or are you apologizing to the Ravens for being so hateful?
I think all three. I'm apologizing to the Ravens, to the mother, and to the little child as well. That I'll try and look at them in a different light going forward. Okay. As long as, like, I don't make eye contact with them and I pretend that they're not there, then I don't have anything to care about, right?
Yeah, I feel like Ravens do have some things going for them. Like they're great living Halloween decorations.
Okay.
They're also, you can become friends with them and they bring you presents like shiny garbage.
I don't think that'll happen. We'll knock that one off. We'll just say that's never happening, but...
And they are, you know, if you do want to do bird watching, they're always around. So like
True.
They're the perfect, like, I want to go out bird watching. Don't worry, you're definitely going to see a raven.
All right.
Those are some great qualities.
Baby steps here. Like we'll just mutually agree to live on Earth together and not really like interact with each other.
Okay, good luck with that, because they're definitely coming for your french fries. Hey, good morning. It is Mix 103.7 with Steph and Shawn. Who's this?
Hey, this is Steph as well.
Oh, hi,
I just want to tell Shawn he's not alone. I also hate birds, ravens particularly, and magpies. They're all too clever and scary.
I know. I don't like them at all. And now I've someone said, I didn't like that you said you hate them. So I was like, all right, I'll try to look at them in a different light, and then maybe we can just like mutually exist on Earth.
Oh, no, I also hate them. I stick my dogs on them, my children.
Thank you. See, this is the type of people. You are the type of people I need in my life.
Have a good day, and I hope you encounter no birds.
Thank you. You as well. Bird-free day.
You know it's spring in Fort McMurray when?
Ooh, 780-791-1037. You can text or call in here. What's the one that you noticed over on your street there?
Oh man, just like I have not seen my neighbors since the fall. Everybody's just been cooped up in their house, binge watching Netflix. I don't know what they do in theirs, so that's what's happening in mine.
Yeah.
And then like yesterday, it was as if we all came out for a block party with our ice chisels.
Yes.
And we were all just chipping away at the driveway, and you could just hear like...
Yes.
It was like, I met people I haven't met yet. We're all just hanging out, being like, yep, it's time. Get this water out of here. Get this ice out of here.
So true. I've noticed it on my block as well. Just last week, with the melt kind of going on, everyone wants to get their driveway clear. And so like my landlord, he was on top of everything. So he cleared his driveway. So he was parking on cement the whole time.
Wow.
Very impressive. But the rest of the block was just like kind of driving on top of the snow and everything. There's some people are clearing like a good half a foot of like ice and snow underneath there.
Totally. That was my house for sure. But my husband's been working really hard, and like, you know,
You're
like,
encouraging him on the side.
yeah, go Sky, go. But it is just crazy to see like some people just keep their driveways down to the pavement all winter long, and you're like, hey
Betty,
you look great. Can you share some tips with us, or like how?
No
do you
kidding,
get
you
that
could
done?
outsource that a little bit.
Totally.
Side income.
But we would love to hear what is the signal for spring in Fort McMurray for you. 780-791-1037. Text or call.
On the calendar, the first day of spring just passed over the weekend, but what are the unofficial Fort McMurray ways to tell that it is spring? Driving up Confed, easily. That's the one for me, because the way I drive up Confed to get to either the radio station is like I'm in the right lane.
Yeah.
You're coming around from the highway. You're just coming around that bend. And then that bend is atrocious, by the way. The right lane on that bend it's a crater. Half the thing is a crater.
Yeah, your whole car is like
Yeah. So I always feel bad. Like I'm just like, oh, okay. Like I kind of got it down of like where I need to be on the road to try and swerve and avoid the potholes a little bit. But then I need to get all the way over, not all the way over. I just need to get over to the right side, and it's just so hard. I have to drive for so long, and then I kind of know like, okay, this is where I can like move over and finally avoid all the potholes so I can safely turn off and go to the roundabout. Basically.
Yeah, I feel like Confed is like needs a special kind of love right now, because not only are there just so many potholes both in the far left and far right lanes, but as well the lines are missing.
Oh,
so you're still like, ooh, what lane am I in? And does everybody else know that I'm in a lane, or are we all confused together and it's a free for all? And I find that is like a surefire sign of spring when you're just like, I think I remember where the lanes were from last year, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I haven't been here for a full year, so some of the roads I don't even know where the lines are. I haven't been a full calendar year, so I'm just kind of like. And another thing about that area is whenever Oil Barons games are going on, and then I host them, and then I drive home afterwards. Obviously, there's some consumption going on there. Not myself.
I was like, wow, Shawn, okay.
I'm working them, but like other people are, like a lot of the stadium is. But then the one thing I fear is when I'm driving home at night, and then all of a sudden I'm doing all this swerving of the potholes. I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is gonna be like the time when like a cruiser's going to be behind me. I'm swerving to avoid potholes. And they're like, oh, pull me over. Like, oh, what were you doing this evening? I'm like, I was working the Oil Barons game, I swear.
Yeah, you look like you're driving drunk.
Yeah, I swear I'm not. Friday, it was so nice out. Everything was melting. The sun was out. And I went to go drive in the afternoon. And I was like, oh, man, like no more room for like heat blasting out. It's time to open the sunroof.
Oh.
So I have two options. You can open it all the way to the back, or you can like prop it up like
so you have like
inch.
a dual, a moonroof or a sunroof.
Yeah, and so I started driving and I propped it all the way back so it was like open. I was like, oh yeah, let's just get that like fresh air going through. 5 seconds go by. I was like, nope, smells like wet towels outside. I should have known that before I even started driving. But as I started driving, I was just like, no, we're gonna do the little prop. We're gonna do the little prop. Because I still wanted something, but I didn't want like not only get rained on from the car in front of me just splashing.
Oh yeah.
Didn't want that. I was like, no, save that for another day. And I also just didn't want my car smelling like wet towels the whole time.
Yeah, that's your own special kind of car wash to get like this rain from the car in front of you. I'm amazed. I was giving my car its own little car wash yesterday with a snowball because I'm just not willing to go and pay for a car wash right now when, you drive through one pedal and it's dirty again. But I couldn't see out my side windows because it's just so many puddles. So I was like, all right, me and the snowball, we're just going to wipe off the windows. Oh, yep, get the mirror too.
Is it bad of me that I was low-key hoping that snowfall that was expected last night to actually fall down to clean my car?
That is really bad of you.
Sorry.
Shut your mouth,
I'm
Shawn.
sorry.
Don't say those things.
Thanks for listening to the Mixed Mornings and More podcast. Want to connect with Steph and Shawn?
Get in the mix. Join them every weekday morning from 5:30 till 10 and call or text 780-791-1037.